Thank you. Katzenmeier and Mahler said, within every school there is a sleeping giant of leadership. Our vision of professional learning seeks to release and harness this power utilizing SF funds. In my district, too many initiatives are top-down generated. They are typically supported with standalone, single-serve PD experiences with little consideration for site-based needs. We know that educators learn best from one another. Pedagogy, content, and best practices all come alive and are relevant in the context of the classroom in which we teach. Teachers' passion for their students becomes ignited when they are allowed to create and implement lessons that address their students' immediate learning needs. Our system is grounded in authentic inquiry-based practices where teachers take charge of their own professional learning based on need. They participate in continuous cycles of collaboration, observation, and reflection. It is in this context that compliance to initiatives moves to relevant and meaningful application, leading to true impact in the classroom.
Our vision is supported by a successful lesson study pilot project designed and implemented by members of this team in our district. This pilot showed that student learning will skyrocket when we can access teachers' expertise, their vested interest in student achievement, and their intrinsic passion for success for improving their practice. The following essential components are needed to successfully scale this model. We need to ensure that every teacher has the opportunity to engage in high-functioning, inquiry-driven, collaborative teams. We can do this by providing teachers time to design and implement deep learning on topics that matter to them, their own students' learning. We can also do this by building the capacity of teacher leaders to lead those teams with training and support in facilitation skills and the continuous improvement processes. Instructional coaches can then provide support in content or pedagogy to meet the needs that surface for teams or individual teachers as they arise.
As a teacher leader for one of these pilot teams, we used protocol to guide our problem of practice. We began by envisioning, if we waved a magic wand and could give our students any skill, what would that look like? These goals aligned with school and district goals. In this inquiry process, we collaborated to create strategies. We observed teaching in action. We analyzed student results and reflected on successes. Together, we were better teachers. Teams were diverse and varied. My team of 5 kindergarten teachers incorporated technology into an early childhood education classroom. Other teams were cross-grade level, and some were teams of like content areas from different schools. Each team had success for all their students, and teachers were empowered in their own practice.
In order to grow our vision for restructuring teacher learning systems, we recommend that our district use ESSA Title II funding to align with the law's new definition of professional development. To do this, school staff will need more time to work in teams during and outside the school day to plan, observe, debrief, analyze student data, and reflect on their students' learning and needs. In our study, participants named lack of administrative support as a hurdle to effective professional development. To address this, districts could provide administrators with training in utilizing teacher leaders and shared leadership structures. Districts could also benefit from funds for site-based support staff, such as instructional coaches, to ensure successful implementation. Lastly, districts need to support schools by allowing more flexible use of funds to meet specific needs of school sites. Thank you for this opportunity to share our vision.
Breaking Bad PD, New Mexico. Great presentation. So let's start feedback to you from our judge, Rachel Wise.
Well, I'd like to applaud you on a great presentation, as well as the foundation that you provided. We did have an opportunity as judges to read your applications, and so we've got a little bit of a foundation from that as well. And I think the way you titled Breaking Bad is a great creative title for where we need to move forward. I appreciated some strengths that I think your presentation and your project really pulled together is to move away from that top-down perspective that really is the process of the past. And I appreciated in this presentation you talking about waking up the sleeping or the silent sleeping giant. I think was really a great way to talk about how, again, teacher voice becomes very, very important as we move forward with ESSA and the opportunities with ESSA. I also thought it was good that you used what's already in place, in the sense that in Albuquerque you're already developing and underway in this process. So I think that really helped your presentation, having that foundation to build from. I think one of the other pieces that is important that you can continue to build on is understanding that relationship with students. One of the things you articulated was that your professional development is really based on student learning needs, and I think that's such an important foundation that I would highlight that just a little bit more, and highlight that in particularly for your community and state stakeholders, because I think they can identify and really understand when you start the conversation around the importance of professional development is really to better meet and provide for our students and meet the student learning needs that you have. So I will turn to my colleagues and see if there's some comments.
I like that you labeled the core components for us. Like, that was the thing that I will walk away from your 4 minutes with, is these are the three things as a policymaker I would need to adjust if I wanted to try to make this happen. And I like that you used a real example. Rachel talked about that, but those are good things that people hold on to. They're stories that people tell going forward. So if you're a legislator, you need to be able to tell this story of what's happening in the school district that you represent. So that was great.
I think as a teacher, I've loved the teacher teams where you identify problems of practice and then align them to district goals. My superintendent loves to hear that things are aligned to district goals. But one of the things I'm learning in this role as I travel around the country is that many of us have the same challenges, but the solutions look very different depending on where you teach or the communities that you serve. And I think the fact that you started out by saying they're based on student learning needs and aligned to your school and your district, so it really allows us the opportunity to work together and share, but then tailor the needs specific to our students and what will work in our school. So it's a very large concept with very specific solutions.
Yeah, I would just add, I love the specifics of it, and somebody mentioned how you can scale the model, which I thought was great, but I would just get really specific about what that means. I mean, I heard you say it, then I was trying to listen to, like, well, how exactly would you do it? So I'd be really specific about what scale is, because that's super important for the policy level.
One quick parting, and that's your last comment about the, with ESSA, the use of flexible funds, and I think that's what's important, and that's what is important for teachers to be thinking about, how they drive professional development and flexibility with the use of ESSA funds. Thanks.
Breaking Bad, thank you. Let's round of applause.